What's going on, rockstars? Welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be looking at ICT's Smart Money Concepts and decide whether they really work, or is it just another overhyped trading strategy. So in front of me I have got on the left hand side the 4-hour candlestick chart, and I've got the 1 minute. The 4-hour is where we're going to assess the overall direction. We're going to see where buy side liquidity and sell side liquidity is sitting, and then we are going to be using the 1 minute to take the entry. So I already mapped out an ideal entry point. This is just cherry picked. Once we complete this example, then we will move on to completely randomizing this test, and then we will forward test, and you'll also notice a P&L at the bottom of the screen, and we will see for ourselves whether these concepts are profitable or not, and if we should use them in our trading strategy or not. So let's get down to it. So what we see is at the top here we have got the buy side liquidity where buy stops and stop losses are residing. So let's see what happens. We will just wait for price to reach these levels, and let's see if we can get to that. So at this moment in time we are just waiting, and you can see price has tapped into this region. Do stay till the end of the video where I will be discussing other concepts, for example inversion FEGs, normal FEGs, which stands for fair value gaps, and how we can use fair value gaps to enter continuation trades or areas where we should be taking profit. So we have got price enter this level. Now all we're going to do is wait for a structural shift where one of the lows gets taken, or we look for a strong price movement where it leaves something called a fair value gap. We're not going to go into the details too much. Those of you who are watching this video, I would expect that you know these terminologies, you know who ICT is, you know what SMC is. We are just testing the concepts, because if on the test we are not able to generate a good performance in our trading, there is absolute no chance that we'll be able to do it in real life market. And by you guys obviously watching this, you may somewhat feel, even though this is demo money, it does somewhat feel like, oh my god, I'm so close of hitting my 10% target. And it does give you that real life feeling to some degree. Let's get down to it. Now we wait for some kind of pullback. At this moment this is an absolute no entry, and we are either going to be waiting for this area to break, or we get some kind of fair value gap on the 1 minute. And we can already see we have got a fair value gap on the 1 minute over here, just there. And then what we do is we just wait for price to tap into that area, into the middle of that area, and then see what happens. So you can see price has fallen and it's taken out a wick on that low, but I would like to see a test this fair value gap. Let's see what happens. Okay, price has entered and price has rejected. So this is where we would enter the trade. But here's something that you probably haven't done before or not used before. You want to get your Fibonacci and just map out this area from there to there, wherever you are going to be entering trade. And here are my settings. So you can see 1, 0.62, 0. This here 1.25 is where the stop loss is going to be placed. This is a nice touch to it, and you can see that this area was a perfect OTE, optimal trade entry, right there. And all we're going to do is we're going to enter the trade. I rather wait for a rejection to happen than to enter perfectly there, because what may happen is price can blast through that and cause us an unnecessary loss. So let's enter. this. We're going to be placing our stop loss where the red area is on the Fibonacci retracement tool, which we placed here. And you can see straight away my risk is 600, but I want to do 1%. Now 1%, for those of you watching, if you're doing a funded account challenge, that could be, for a 100k account could be 1k, for a 200k account it could be 2k. So for the purpose of this video, we're just going to be using a 200k funded account challenge. So this means that in order for us to pass the challenge, we need to make 10% of the account balance. So we need to try to make $20,000 for us to pass the challenge. So let's get down to it and try and get this close to 2k. Okay, and that went a little bit over, so I'm just going to reduce my risk, and I'm going to try and get it as close as possible. Okay, that's close enough. I'm just going to move it a tad bit more, just so I get that 2k. It's close enough with the stop loss just there. In terms of reward to risk, I am going to be going for a 3-to-1 reward to risk. So that means if I am risking 2k, which is 1% of a 200k funded challenge account, and some of you guys are doing very well in crypto and forex, so 200k could be your complete personal account, and I'm just going to let this thing ride and see where it goes. Now the next level of sell side liquidity is down this area, which you can see we've got plenty of space to go, but I am just going to be going for a 3-to-1. Let's see what happens. Remember, this is a perfect example, and we have hit P&L, and you can see at the bottom of the screen that's the P&L that we have achieved. Okay, so that is just one example where we use buy side liquidity on the 4-hour, tap into that, you look for a structural shift or a fair value gap on the 1 minute, and then we enter that trade and go for a 3-to-1. So let's clear our screen, and we will now randomize this. We'll randomize it, and we will do it 3 times, just so you know that I am not cherry picking this. Let me just check the date. This is 2018 August 21st of August 2018. So let's get down to it and see where price is heading towards. First, what we need to do is we need to mark out the buy side liquidity. Let's get that marked on. You can see there are several areas of buy side liquidity that we need to have it marked on. Okay, let's get that done first. This is the most important thing that we need to do first, because we need to see where price may be attracted towards. Okay, and here's another one there, and here's more here, so we can just clone this. Let's clone this one again. Okay, I think we can get another one here and another one here as well. There you go. So I got all my buy side liquidity marked in. Okay, now what I'm going to do is get my sell side liquidity marked in, which is here, and you can see straight away on the sell side liquidity we have taken that. So price is now trending towards the buy side liquidity up here. Okay, so you've jumped onto the charts and you see this. What do? Do we enter right here? No, we don't. We need to wait for some kind of retracement before we can enter that trade. So the retracement over here for us to somewhat aim for this buy side liquidity is down there. And what you'll notice is you'll see a fair value gap there, and you will see a fair value gap there as well. Okay, the price is magnetizing towards this area, but if I was to enter this trade, we are looking to enter from this area, this area. Overall, the market is bearish. Structurally, the bigger move is still bearish, but if we take this, then we would be looking for a potential shift in the market where we go bullish. So from this high to this low, everything in between is internal structure. Everything's going on inside this move. But if we break this high here, we take it and we pull back, that's when it's going to be a potential complete shift. So let's get down to this and see where price is potentially going to be going. Okay, either we take buy side liquidity first, or we come back and we tap into these areas. At this moment, it's complete no trade zone for me. Okay, so price is hovering towards here. Let's let it go up and see where price goes. Okay, so we wait for that break towards the up. Let's see what happens. Okay, so now that price is starting to hover in this region, we would look to see if we can get a structural break there or a strong move to the downside. So at the moment, I have not seen anything yet. And also what I would like to add is this upward slope trend line. If we can break that, which it looks like we have, that further adds to the confluence. So let's see what happens. So we have had a break, so that's good. And can we see price come back and tap this area? Okay, price is coming up. Okay, so price is now falling in that region. So what can we do at this moment in time? Can we enter this trade or shall we leave it? So let's see. If we was to take that low to high, stop loss would be above there. So let's get this on. Okay, and let's go for what we said we would. We would do a 2k position. Get that 2k position in. Okay, almost there. Just need another 500 to complete that. Okay, that's give or take. Okay, we'll leave it at that. And then we're aiming for a 3-to-1 reward to risk. Okay, 3-to-1, which is about give or take. Okay, so we've tapped into the buy side liquidity. We've got a trend structural break. That is the previous high. We've got some fair value gaps that are in this region, and we have got enough move towards the downside. So let's see how this plays out. If this is going to be a win or if this is going to be a loss. Let's find out. So at this moment in time, we have got price going sideways. Okay, still going sideways. Okay, price is going up, and right now, okay, we got stopped out. Okay, that's fine. We got stopped out. So we move on to the next trade. At this moment in time, we are down $2.159 dollars, and let's remove this. And what are we seeing at the moment? We're still in this buy side area, and we're just gonna look for a shift. So at this moment in time, can we see any shift at the moment? Not right yet. Okay, no shift as of yet. Is that going to be the shift? No shift as of yet. It's created equal high, which is going to be taken out by the market. Okay, it's going up higher. As you can see at this point, we haven't taken any trades. Okay, we've got a strong push to the downside. Can we break that? Which we have in this instance. We have broken it. We've got a fair value gap sitting there. Got some fair value gaps there. and we're going to take a sell. And we would use the Fibonacci tool just to show where we want to place our stop loss. We're going to place it just above there, that zone. Okay, and let's get it to the 2k mark again. Okay, that's a bit too much. Okay, close enough, and we will go for a 3 to 1, so that would be somewhere down here, give or take 3 to 1. So see what happens. Either we get stopped out or we move on. Let's see. Okay, we almost got stopped out there. Let's see. Okay, we got stopped out there again. No problem. Remember, it's all about reward to risk, and we just keep playing the numbers. We keep playing the numbers. Now we will wait for a structural shift, which we have got now. It's a nice structural shift, and we will wait, and we'll just wait to see price come back into this area for a short. If we get it, yep, not yet, nothing as of yet. You can see price never came back to the entry. We want to be looking for an OT entry around 6.2, which we haven't still got. Still nothing. We have had nothing so far. Okay, now we have got a somewhat of an OTE entry right there. You see, we've got something there. So we're going to go for a short. Stop loss above. Now the reward to risk is going to be a lot more. You can see a lot more of a distance, but we need to make sure we get our. We are potentially aiming for close enough. Okay, that is big, of course, but we see what happens. So we're potentially wanting to come down to this area, fill these fair value gaps. We have got one just there as well. We'll see how price reacts. Okay, we're up 1400 at the moment. Okay, and we are still going up. Okay, alrighty. Okay, we got stopped out on there. So at this moment in time, we are down 6.679k. Remember, this is a real test. We are doing real live testing. So if you was to go away and implement these tests in your own way, and you'd probably come across this hurdle depending on what time or when you started it. So what we also noticed straight away over here, we've got a fair value gap there, and this is on the 4 hour. So what we're going to do is we're going to see if price reaches this area, and we're going to look for another short position going down. And because we've taken the liquidity on the buy side and we've got a fair value gap coming up, so let's see if we can tap into it. And then we've tapped into it. Brilliant. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to wait for price to push in the opposite direction, which it hasn't. Okay, it still hasn't. We need a strong push down with fair value gaps. Nothing yet. We're waiting for a structural shift. Nothing as of yet. Oftentimes price can break above these fair value gaps and then chop back in. Okay, it's chopped back in, and we've got a situation where price has now broken this level, and we're going to enter the trade. So again, like last time, stop loss above there, stop loss above there. Okay, that's a bit too much in terms of size, so let's reduce the size. Just reducing the size. Okay, almost there. Just give or take there. Okay, now what we're going to do is we are now going to be aiming for a 3 to 1, which is about roughly there, about down here. Let's see what happens. Are we going to get stopped out, or is it going to carry on? Okay, we're currently up 1800 in profit so far. And let's see. Okay, fair value gap didn't work at this instance, and we are stopped out. Price is going up higher with another fair value gap at the bottom over here. You can see. So price is inclining to go higher and higher. So straight away we notice that just because we hit the buy side liquidity, oftentimes the education that ICT provides is once buy side hits, we look for an opposite trade with a smart money concept of the price breaking structure. And you can see so far we've just had continuous loss so far, so yeah, it hasn't really played out very well. So do we go long here? Unless we come down to this area here, then potential long position to go higher into this area, but it never gave us. So we're at this next zone, and we are going to be looking for a sell position from that zone. Let's see what happens. Can we get a sell? Okay, we've got a potential, but can you see this trend? I would like to see this trend break first. Let's see the trend break, and then we would look for a potential entry after it breaks. Okay, nothing as of yet. Trend is still just going sideways at the moment. It's going sideways. Yep, just sideways. And that's because the market has just reopened, so it's been going sideways all this time. And as of now, we can see that price, so it's super choppy at this moment in time. But has it come into our entry point, which it has? You can see just there. So if it had appeared there, we would have entered there, but we're entering a bit late. There you go. And we are going to be aiming again for a 3 to 1 reward to risk. Let's see what happens. Okay, down 6k, and let's see what happens. Give this a good play. You can see price is just going sideways at the moment. Just going to speed it up by pressing a slightly higher time frame just to speed it up. And at this moment in time, we have got stopped out. So at this moment in time, you can see clearly ICT Concepts isn't working right now, even though buy side has been hit on two areas where the trading strategy was we would sell using the buy side liquidity and the lower time for structural shift, and we'd sell down there. We'd sell, but it's not happening. So what do we do in this scenario where price is not happening? You just stick to it and until you blow your account. That's what you do. Let's see anyway. If we can get to the next level, what can happen? You can see price did fall in the end. We did fall down there, and we did end up hitting our TP, but we are not in the trade because we got stopped out. So can we come back into this region to do a sell, which we did, and you can see what's happened already. Price came back into this level here, which we would have been selling. Stop loss above there, and we would go for a TP of 3 to 1. Let's just make sure we get the exact close enough, and we go for a 6k target, which is actually very big. It's a very big ask, but let's see what happens anyway. So straight away we are obviously in profit, and you can see that we are almost getting stopped out there. Yep, we've been stopped out. So buy side liquidity alone with the 1 minute entry is absolutely BS. Doesn't work. So you have to incorporate it with other techniques alongside the buy side liquidity. But at this moment in time, you can see that we are down 13k. The concept doesn't work. Let me know in the comment sections your thoughts. How have you found the ICT concept? Because at the moment, by doing real test data, you can see straight away we are down 13k, and it is absolutely shocking.